Tell me what can I do now? Tell me what can I do now? Tell me what can I do now? Sometimes I let my guard down. Tell me what can I do now?
Hey, what's up? I'm Chen. We're at Formula Drift, New Jersey, hanging out with Koenig wheels, and we're checking out my FD Toyota 86. So right behind me, the big centerpiece, the 6-liter iron block supercharged motor running on Ignite fuel, making 750 horsepower to the wheels. And it's a beast, it's a monster. We finally tamed it over 3 years, and meaning we've been able to get the heat to stay at bay. It's really tough to cool this blower down because it just wants to make all that power, more heat. It got nowhere to go, as you can see. This engine bay is pretty jam-packed. So hiding underneath this bumper, we have a K&N Air Filter, which helps the motor breathe, which more air, more fuel, more spark, more power, baby, right?
More power, baby!
Motor inside has Molnar Technologies crankshaft and rods, and that helps keep the power all together. Stock stuff won't work on this build, and we have WiseCo pistons as well. So with that foundation of a really strong bottom end, allows us to make all that power, and if we want to, we just make that pulley a little smaller for Magnuson, and we could make probably 1,000 horsepower easy. And because our engine's so strong, it could take it, and the rest of the car could take it as well. But for PROSPEC, we're on a 255 tire, and so we don't need to generate all that power. We just want something enough to blow everyone away, but not to blow the tires off the car. So that's the key, right? So in the front, we have the new WiseFab kit, which is a BMW rack, an E90 rack, and it's front steer instead of rear steer. So it was one of the biggest upgrades we did over the off season, and really fixes that rear steer issue we were having last year, where at full lock, the car was death wobbling all over the place, caused me to shoot off track actually in New Jersey last year, and not ideal. So with the new front rack, the steering feels way more stable and allows me to drive the car with more confidence. The rack also has a shorter lock-to-lock, meaning that it's quicker, which is actually really good because I don't have to do this with my hands. You know, that's like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
With what was going on, and
so with that, we can easily just kind of go back and forth, and it's a dream to drive. I love this setup. It drives really well with our Fortunato Pro two-way suspension, which is actually their 520 series. Was the competition development prototype a couple years ago, and now it's put into production, and so that is what is paired in the front. So we're currently swapping out our Koenig hexaforms for some more Koenig hexaforms. Koenig hexaforms, just like my FDRX7, are 18 by 8.5 plus 35 in the front, and then 18 by 9.5 plus 25 in the rear. So really great, lightweight, super strong wheel. Actually got hit last round in Atlanta by another competitor, and the Koenigs did really great, stayed on the car, and was able to finish out the run, and then put some fresh tires on and won that battle. So really happy to have Koenig on board this year, along with my other partners, Fuel Lab. We did something really cool in the rear that I'll get to in a second. But first I'm gonna show you the interior of this car. Man, okay. Ugh. So the car is on jack stands right now, which makes it a little harder to get in and out. But this is a really beautiful interior. Jerry Yang Racing put in this nice HGK carbon fiber dash over the off season, along with this nice MOTEC dash, which is powered by a Link ECU, and got this really nice keypad, my Chillout system to keep me cool. It's very high tech, very much more complex than the simple gauges that I have in the RX-7, but this is a fully built competition car. Sabelt gloves right here, they are really awesome. They have these nice little silicone grip things that allow me to grip the steering wheel. Helps me drive with confidence, right? We have a TEX T101A 4-speed dog box. It's a side shifter. So we had to actually fabricate the tunnel to make this transmission work correctly. Well, basically just fit, right? It works correctly. It feels really, really nice. I actually prefer it over the other dog box that's in the FD-RX-7 because it just feels very sturdy and very stout. So similar to the RX-7, we have this committed handbrake, really easy to grab, love pulling it, makes the car run great when I need it to, but it's, you know, it's a tool, that's what I use the handbrake for. So we got our fire suppression system, all these little lines and cords and stuff. Haven't had to test that one out, and let's keep it that way. Right behind me, we have our Chillout Systems box, which is this really cool, basically ice pack thing that it circulates really cold fluid all throughout these lines that are right here. One of the things that we learned in FD the first year, where I got heat exhausted basically 3 out of 4 rounds, and it made it really difficult to drive the car. But now that we have this Chillout system, it solved all those issues. But fortunately for a day like today where it's not hot, the sun's not out, it's really cool already, so don't even need to use it. But at St. Louis, when it's 100 degrees, yeah, you best bet that I am definitely gonna use that thing, and it is really, really useful. Remember when I said it was a party back here earlier? Well, we got a party right here with this Fuel Lab QSST quick service surge tank. Makes our fuel system really easy to service. We can just undo these bulkhead bolts right here, and it lifts up this contraption which holds 2 fuel pumps that are controlled by these 2 controllers. So brushless fuel pumps, meaning they don't have to run full tilt all the time like a standard fuel pump. We can dial them up when we need the power and dial them back when we were just idling, for example. So way more efficient, helps keep our costs on fuel down because we don't have to run the pumps at full tilt all the time. We have a really complex cooling system back here. So this is actually for oil right here. This is for water. And as you notice, the radiator's in the back. By doing that, it makes our radiator harder to crash because it's in the rear. If I mess this radiator up, it means I really destroyed the car. So luckily, I've never had any issues with that. And it also keeps our weight distribution better because we're taking weight that was originally in the front, like most cars, and moving it to the rear, creating more of a balance. So the best looking part of this car in the rear is the Buddy Club taillights. They are the Aventador style taillights that are, I think they're V2 or something like that, but they look really cool and have that nice aggressive look. Luckily, I have never busted one of these before. Knock on wood, I guess that's not wood, but it'll have to do. And we are running our awesome GT radial SX RS2 255 35 18s in the rear, and then we have 245 40 18s in the front. So huge shout out to GT Radial, which is where we are doing the halftime show on Saturday, which is an awesome experience. If you're ever at an FD event, come on Saturday, first thing during the halftime break. We have trivia questions, prizes, giveaways. I interview other people like Matt Field, Kazuya Taguchi, Nick Novak, and Odi Bakchis, and all the other GT Radial drivers. We got music. Fun fact, I used to be a DJ at one point in my life. So hope you've enjoyed that overview of my GT86, probably the most in-depth one I've ever done, but hopefully you enjoyed something, learned something, maybe you can apply what you've seen in my car to your build. So huge shout out to Koenig, love their hexaforms that we're running on both the FD-RX-7 and the Toyota 86, and you should go follow them because you're watching this video, clearly, right? Until then, I'll see you next time.